Okay, hi people. So here's a train guy, and I don't generally make vlogs. You guys know that. So this is something new, and at least for me. So I'm here at you're going to see the place. So that's where I am, and yeah, the National Rail Museum. And so let's go in, and we'll see how it goes. So National Rail Museum. This is present at Chanakyapuri in New Delhi. Let's go explore all the various locomotives and wagons and what the National Rail Museum has to offer. So I have the ticket in my hand, and what pleases you the most when we hear from the southern part of the country is that it's an SR loco that is featuring in the ticket for the NRM. Can't get better. This is a statutory warning, so we are not allowed to climb on the exhibits. If you're going to climb, you are going to be charged a fine of rupees 500. So I don't need to pay that. So here's the first logo. Steam locomotive MTR2, originally built for the Karachi Port Trust by the British firm of Dicker and Company in 1910. This beautiful 2-6 locomotive with an oversized chimney also worked at the Marala Timber Depot from 1917 to 1922, after which it was finally brought to the Creosoting plant at Dilwan on the Northern Railway. So that's the story of this locomotive, and frankly it's cute. And the funnel is brilliant. This would totally remind many people of the toy trains that they had. I see a bigger fish standing inside. We'll see about that later. So this is the guide map for the National Rail Museum. Let's have a closer view. So these are the various stuff. I wouldn't be covering all of these in my vlog right now. So we'll see some of the more famous ones like the BB&CI, maybe steam locomotives. Different steam locomotives definitely, because they are not easily seen. Diesel locomotives, the WDM4 for example. Rail cars, the turntable, the DC locomotives. Yeah, so these are the ones that we are going to see now. So I'll try to explain a few of them in my video. Okay, so here I am at the museum junction. So what's the first thing that we're going to do? We'll take the joy train. We'll take the joy train that will take us around the museum, and we'll have a fair idea what are the stuff that we're going to see later. So let's now go aboard one of these coaches. So here we are, sitting in the train, and not really sure if they'll start the train depending on the crowd or are there fixed timings. So let's just wait for the train to start. So yeah, the train's all set to leave. So you can see the mighty steams out here. So this belongs to the East Indian Railway. first WDM 1 class locomotive. And that is a turntable. One of the largest steam engines of VNR. It has two tenders. One from South Indian Railway. Okay, so now we're back in the driving at the Museum Railway Station. So here, the difference between the meter gauge and the broad gauge can be widely seen. So the meter gauge diesel engine is standing there on its 1 meter wide track, and then on this side is the broad gauge. It's standing on its 1.6 meter track. And this is our classic Alco from the American Locomotive Company, imported and brought here back in the 1960s. It has a 4-stroke compression ignition engine and has cab only at one end. It does feel totally majestic to stand between these brilliant and historical locomotives that have performed in the Indian Railways over a period of years. Let's now move on to the WDM2. Yeah, so as said already, this is a WDM2 class locomotive, and the point is WDM2s are still active, very much active in the Indian Railway network. This belongs to the shed of Katni, while it has been POH'd at Diesel Component Works Patiala, which still exists. So here's the details about the WDM2. More than 2000 locomotives of the WDM2 class have been used by the Indian Railways. WDM2 class locomotive is based on the Alco RSD29 and the DL560C design. 18040 was the first ever WDM2 from Alco American Locomotive Company, Schenectady, New York. So yeah, this is to basically show how small we are when compared to this locomotive. So that's me standing in front of the locomotive, and there's a locomotive behind me. Now that is what you call massive. So here we are to see the WAG-1, WAG-1, which was the first broad gauge electric locomotive of India that functioned on alternating current. Let's go read a bit about it. So here we are, the WAG-1 20710. W for broad gauge, A for alternating current, and G for goods locomotive. To the first AC goods locomotive of Indian Railways, 28 of such locomotives were imported from NIV and SFAC. Serial numbers 20,700 to 20,709 and 20,849 to 20,868. The rest of the WAG-1s were manufactured in India. So 20710, so basically this locomotive was called Bidhan. Bidhan was the first one to be manufactured completely in India. It was a 25 kV AC locomotive manufactured from Chittaranjan Locomotive Works. 85 ton, 2900 HP, 17.092 meters long, and a maximum permissible speed of 80 kmph. It had a baby wheel arrangement. The locomotive had two bogies having two wheels each. Out of these, two wheels was directly powered and the others was geared with traction motors, hence the name monomotor bogie. Axle load of 21.3 tons. So what's special about this? The first WAG-1 was also to be inaugurated by the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and this was on 16th November 1963. A bit of a walk around the locomotive. Looking at its livery, you could be confused with the present day WAM-4, or should I say erstwhile WAM-4, because 90% of the WAM-4 locomotives are anyway decommissioned and out of service. So here we are. Here it has a name, Bidhan, and it belonged to Vijayawada. Look at the wheel arrangement. Has its two wheels on each side and one attractive power. ZDM-1 number 704. One of the few locomotives of Indian Railways that has had two power packs. One in the front and one at the back, and then there's a cab in the middle. So these, according to the information given here, were used in the mountains, and pretty frankly so. Two power packs were used for going up, while one power pack was used for coming down. Okay, so here we are to the WDM-1, the first diesel locomotive. In 1957, Indian Railways imported its first mainline diesel locomotive from the American Diesel Locomotive Company, Alco, Schenectady, New York, and classified as WDM-1. It is also known as the World Series DL500 or FA locomotive outside India. The 5.6 broad gauge 1950 1800 horsepower locomotive has cow wheel sets. This 111.2 ton single cab locomotive was capable of hauling passenger or goods at a maximum speed of 104 km per hour. 100 locomotives were imported for Eastern and Southeastern Railway and mainly engaged in ore or coal frail duty. Although some were dedicated to regular passenger duties too, the Howrah Madras Mail was linked to a double-headed WDM-1. 17000 was the first locomotive of the class. Around late 1990, after nearly 40 years of service, these were taken out of service. Looks grand. I would fall in love with one of these locomotives any day. 10 times out of 9, if you ask me. Looks absolutely brilliant. Like, this is amazing. Just amazing. And you have all the other kind of locomotives which might be more brilliant, but as they say, this might be brilliant, but I like this. So this is what you call as a turntable. Most of us you would be knowing it. So it's connected to the tracks on each side, so the locomotive can be driven onto top of this, and then this has a wheel with a track of its own and it's rotated. So why do they do this? In the earlier times, as you can see in the locomotives here, like this and that, there are only one such cabins. So with only one cabin, it means that the engine had to be reversed and rotated every time the train had to make a reversal or change ends. So what do? You bring the locomotive onto a turntable, rotate it, and send it back. That's basically how this turntable works. So this is a WDM-4 locomotive, the first EMD of India. 18001 from Mughal Sarai shed. So now EMDs don't make 4-stroke engines, nor do they make. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Nor is Mughal Sarai called Mughal Sarai anymore. It's Deen Dayal Upadhyay Junction. So yeah, that's basically it. So for the mistake that I'm making in this video, apologies, because it's my first vlog in quite some time, and not very much used to the vlogging as such. It's a Coco locomotive and has 6 wheel sets powering them. Single cab, 4-stroke, compression ignition locomotive. It's a diesel electric locomotive, and yeah, that's basically it. Right now out of access, but those two that you can see right now belong to the GIPR, Great Indian Peninsular Railway. So they are 2 electric locomotives, multi-cabs, and I don't know what class they belong to, frankly, and since we are not allowed to go inside or read about them, I guess it's going to remain a suspense. Nice set of rails, don't you think? What say? Good, right? Looks pretty shiny, and it does looks like trains are running on this rate. Want to know more? Keep watching the video. Guess what? It does run. So yeah, you saw that. What do you think? Let's do it? Yep. As excited as you guys are in doing that. And I've arrived at the station. So that's the station. And yeah, I guess our ride is here.
नहीं वो बात है ठीक है मान लो 100 का मतलब हो गया 7 kg अब 7 और 8 1 kg तो आगे ना हो